It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be podsmacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Very interesting podcast, by the way. Number 129 if you're keeping track. Now, not only is this episode number 29 of the audio podcast, this is also being broadcast on a really cool site called Deplorables Radio. Deplorables Radio on Facebook. All right? So we're going to cover the day's events, what you've learned to expect, what you've come to expect here. We're also broadcasting on Facebook Live. Deplorables Radio. All right? Okay. Before we get into it, let's talk about my sponsors. Dr. Alex Nelson, Fountain of Life Chiropractic. You wait a minute. You say you don't believe in chiropractic? Well, you've never tried it. You've never tried it. I got to tell you, there are so many things they can do for you. A few years ago, I was having pain in my chest and my arm, and I thought I was having a heart attack. Went to a sports medicine doctor. Doctor said I'd have to have a nuclear stress test. All sorts of tests, all sorts of money. Somebody recommended I try chiropractic. Went in, got an adjustment. They said, you know what? You're just sleeping on your pillow wrong. You got too many pillows under your head. FountainofLifeChiro.com, FountainofLifeChiro.com. They're in Kansas City, 8335 North Congress Avenue. And they're at 816-741-4711, 816-741-4711, FountainofLifeChiro.com. It'll change you. Another great sponsor, GrassMonstersKC.com. These are mowers that are made in America. Mowers and trimmers, and they are made in America. Got the Dixie Chopper made in Indiana. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You've got to go see him, 5520 Raytown Road. Take one for a test drive. It'll change your life, I'm telling you. I remember the first time I got on a Dixie Chopper Silver Eagle. Got one parked in my garage right now. Hustler's also made in Kansas. Oh, my goodness. The Super Z commercial mower. 2-year no-limit warranty. 5-year, 500-hour. Bumper to bumper. Wow. American made. You'll love them. Again, that is GrassMonstersKC.com, 5520 Raytown Road, Raytown Mo. Now, let's address our live audience on Deplorables Radio.
Caused by the realization that you are completely normal. Ask your doctor about Placebex or Nothing and All so you can have a syndrome to call your own. Placebex and Nothing and All. New from SmithKline Blarney.
Okay, there you go. That's the kind of stuff I've been talking about. And I know that, some of you are... I'm going to bring that down. That's another one I'm going to play in a moment. Anyway, that's some of the stuff that I do. I write comedy. I will share with you some more as the show progresses. But I would love to hear your thoughts on that and other things. Want to mention, let me just real quick, I've got two Facebook pages going right now. I want to make sure that I get your comments in real time, all right? So I'm going to run this on one page here. Let me just go here to Deplorables Radio, where we are. I have in my home studio. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I got one like so far. It's not a bad start, but I don't want likes. I want comments. Come on now. I mean, I like it when you like, you like me. You really like me. But I also want to hear from people as I comment throughout the evening. All right? Do you believe this? Let me ask you this. Donald Trump goes over to France, and he meets with Brigitte Macron and Emmanuel Macron. Pardon me. Gets over there and arrives. Now, this guy, give the man credit. He's got Mrs. Robinson syndrome. He's 39 years old, good-looking dude. Apparently, Emmanuel Macron. What are you doing in here? My daughter is this is a professional operation. Yeah. Get out of here. So, no. I'm on the air. Leave me. Go. Get out of here. Shoo fly. Don't bother me. All right. There we go. That's better centered. You can see both lamps. Do you like the environs? I designed this myself. All of the things here in this glorious studio, the lighting, the whole deal, that's me. And I'm not even gay. Yes, I can decorate, and I'm not even gay. Woo! Stop it. Okay. So Donald Trump meets the 64-year-old first lady, who, by the way, damn, looks good. And apparently somebody is saying, this is a UK Daily Mail, they're saying that Donald Trump met her and said to her, you're in such good shape. This is so funny. So he said that, and he repeated it to Macron, saying, she's beautiful. This is what I'm hearing, right? Okay, and I posted this today, on the Deplorables Radio Facebook page. Do you really think this happened? I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you really think that he said that? I mean, we saw some lip reading and all that stuff, but did we really believe that this actually happened? Sorry, I had to tell my wife to put the dogs away. Anyway, he had a lingering embrace with Madame Macron, and they were in Paris on the eve of Bastille Day. Now, this is kind of interesting also, guys. Melania Trump is a gorgeous woman, and she speaks 4 languages. Jackie O was a gorgeous woman who was raised in privilege for her entire life. Nothing against Jackie O, but why is it? Because Jackie O, I guess, was a Democrat, and Melania Trump is a Republican. Why is she not the new Jackie O? Why is that not the case? Why is she not the new Jackie O? She goes into a school, I guess it's a preschool, and speaks perfect French to the children. Apparently that is not a big deal. And I think it's shameful because she is gorgeous. She is worldly. She's the only first lady. There's actually some nude pics of her. I've never seen them. Of course, I don't look at those things. But anyway, that's the Trump visit. So do you believe it? You can comment, guys. You know the comment line right here. Comment. You see the comment thing right below me? Comment right now. And I'd love to have you join me, no matter who you are. And I know that we have some actually fairly big deal pundits who occasionally checked out this podcast. You don't know who I am. I'm just this guy in this kind of groovy studio. But I think you're going to like what I have to say about a lot of stuff. So stick around and comment. All right? Donald Trump said the obvious today. And, I don't feel like spending a lot of time on this Donald Trump Jr. and meeting with the Russian lawyer, because I think it's a load of crap. I don't know if it was a setup by the Russian lawyer. There's been a lot of said about her. I don't know a lot about her. It's iffy and weird. I do believe that Donald Trump Jr. was played by someone. And the Russian lawyer was the last person in the line of people who wanted to play her. All right. So I'm not going to get into the depth of this. Listen, I've done copious research. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a non-story. I think that Donald Trump Jr. and the Kremlin, I mean, if this is all you got, if this is all the Democrats have, is a frickin' meeting where a guy, Donald Trump Jr., said when he heard that there was somebody who had some opposition research and then mentioned in an email. This is, by the way, this is from a publicist, a publicist and a tabloid journalist. Hey, man, the Russian government supports you. And I got somebody with some opposition research. Donald Trump says, okay, we'll meet you. We get together at Trump Tower. 3 minutes of the meeting, they find out it's bullcrap. They leave. That's what you got? Tim Kaine said it was treasonous. Is that what you got? Because honestly, wow, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Donald Trump, though, did say something. He interviewed with Pat Robertson. And I believe the interview airs tonight on the 700 Club, which I don't watch. Sorry, I'm not a big 700 Club watcher. I loved Club 695. That was 5 clubs ago. Oh, my God. 695. That was the 600 Club. That was way back. I mean, that was 100 clubs ago. And but 700 after 666, 695, I just have never been able to get to the 700 Club. It lost something. It was like Friends in the last season. I wasn't even paying attention. Anyway, Donald Trump sat down with Pat Robertson to talk about the obvious thing, which is, why in the hell would Russia want Donald Trump to win the election when Hillary Clinton, at the beginning of her tenure as the Secretary of State, gave a reset button to the Russian ambassador that said, it was mistaken, it said overcharge. So she looked like an idiot. The only thing that she racked up as far as accomplishments as a Secretary of State were frequent flyer miles. Benghazi, you know what I'm saying. And then, of course, she was in bed with Uranium One and the Russian government as a Secretary of State, made $145 million for the Clinton Foundation to sell 20% of the mining rights of uranium in the United States. Okay, so we got all that. Weak on defense. Not exactly a hawk with regard to Russia. Certainly very much not into energy independence for the United States. So Donald Trump made it, what I've been saying for a long time about why would the Russian government want Donald Trump to be elected? It's very obvious, and here he is explaining to Pat Robertson.
Our military would be decimated. Our energy would be much more expensive. That's what Putin doesn't like about me. And that's why I say, why would he want me? Because from day one, I wanted a strong military. He doesn't want to see that. And from day one, I want fracking and everything else to get energy prices low and to create tremendous energy. We're going to be self-supporting. We just about are now. We're going to be exporting energy. He doesn't want that.
By the way, we are exporting energy. That's what the visit with Poland the other day was. Donald Trump finally freed the Polish people from exclusive dependence on Russian natural gas. You can't imagine. Come on. You think Putin likes that?
He would like Hillary, where she wants to have windmills. Okay. Yeah. He would much rather have that because energy prices will go up. And Russia, as you know, relies very much on energy. So there are many things that I do that are the exact opposite of what he would want. So when I keep hearing about that he would have rather had Trump, I think probably not, because when I want a strong military, she wouldn't have spent the money on the military, but when I want a strong military, when I want tremendous energy, we're opening up coal, we're opening up natural gas, we're opening up fracking, all the things that he would hate, but nobody ever mentions that.
Yeah, and it's true. And I've said it for a long time. The elephant in the room is, why in the hell would Vladimir Putin and the Russian government want a hawk, want a strong defense guy, want a strong energy dependence guy in the White House? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I would get into a little bit more in the Donald Trump Jr. and the Russian collaboration or whatever you want to call it, but it's just so stupid at this point. Again, your thoughts are welcome, guys. Just write a comment to me. I'd appreciate it. For those who just joined in, my name is Rob Carson. I'm a nationally syndicated comedy writer, talk show host, video and audio podcaster. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Good Morning America. This is kind of funny. Good Morning America has had to cover up George Stephanopoulos' legs. Does anybody watch that show? I don't have time to. I watch Fox and Friends, I guess, occasionally. Fox and Friends is okay. But George Stephanopoulos is a short guy, And the New York Post has reported about the fact that he's only 5'7". He's dwarfed by human trees, Robin Roberts, 5'10", Michael Strahan, 6'5". They're saying that George Stephanopoulos has little boyish mini legs. This is fantastic. Stephanopoulos' height falls square in the middle of the show's five main hosts as he is shorter than Strahan and Roberts, who are, superhuman giants. Taller than Laura Spencer and Amy Robach. And so they're covering up his legs now. They have these plexiglass desks. You can see they decided to cover it up because of George's legs. Yeah. He is the same height as his wife, writer, actress, comedian, Allie Wentworth. And I love Allie. I think she's just cool as hell. I really think Allie Wentworth is cool as hell. I want to party with her. She's probably a commie lib, but I would party with her. As the show progresses here, will you share with others? We have to get the comment section going here. I would love to hear Kellyanne Conway today. And this might have been last night, talking with Sean Hannity. Let's see if we can find this cut. Oh, there it is. She decided to give us a lesson a la Sesame Street, and it made some people confused, but it made other people go, oh, this is pretty funny. Conway's a counselor for the president. I don't know what her official title is, right? She decided to talk about the Russia scandal, and it's a non-Russia scandal. And if the latest revelation, the Donald Trump Jr. thing, is it, then it's over. It's over. Anyway, here she is talking about doing a little Sesame Street with regard to collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians.
What's the conclusion? Collusion? No, we don't have that yet. I see illusion and delusion. So just so we're clear, everyone, 4 words. Conclusion, collusion, no. Illusion, delusion, yes. I just thought we'd have some fun with words. Sesame's Grover word of the day, perhaps, Sean.
Sesame's Grover word of the day is collusion, which rhymes with delusion. All right. I see I have some likes. What I need is some comments. Folks, look at me. Right up here. I need comments. You are a member of this terrific blog, this terrific Facebook page. I need your comments. If you have comments on stuff, I'd like to hear them, okay? Maybe I need a question of the day. How about this? Do you believe that the Donald Trump Jr. thing today is going away? Is a big nothing burger. Do you believe it? Time magazine had a cover today. It said red stained hands or something. It's freaking stupid. So if you'd like to comment on that, that would be great. If you'd like to comment on other things that you've seen, particularly on our Facebook page today. We've been posting the hell out of some stuff now. We have been posting the hell out of some stuff on Deplorables Radio. So if you want to comment on anything. And you know what? If I get some comments, I'll play another comedy bit for you. I will. If you write me some comments, I will play another bit that I did for Rush Limbaugh. Is that okay? Is that fair? All right. Join me now and comment. All right. This doofus, Representative Scott Hammond, had a lengthy Facebook tirade on Tuesday. He's apparently a Democrat lawmaker from Maine. Just a douche. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of vitriol coming from the left. They're caterwauling. They're mad. They don't want to be a part of the legislative process. They want nothing to do with Donald Trump. Their minds are poisoned. They're convinced that Donald Trump is a Nazi. All this other crap. This guy is accused Trump of being anti-American, an admitted rapist who was installed by the Russians. Do you realize, just real quick, that the whole Russian thing is a distraction from the Clinton campaign and the Clinton Foundation from Russia and the Ukraine? Do you realize that's what this is all about? If you think that this is about Donald Trump colluding, you're high. Okay, you're obviously listening in Washington State or Colorado, the District of Columbia. It's a load of crap. It's a distraction from the real collusion of the Hillary Clinton campaign with the Ukraine, with Russia, with Uranium One. Yeah, I don't want to sound all Alex Jones and everything, but it is. But it is. Anyway, this doofus in Maine says basically just being a vitriolic douche, talking about Donald Trump and Donald Trump supporters. He berated the supporters, said that they get their news only from outlets like Breitbart News. Breitbart is a good place. It is. It has a take. Don't get me wrong. He said, don't like the truth? Well, then, F you, snowflake. The Democrats are snowflakes. You're an F and P word. Poor kitty. You are destroying America. Like you care about America. He continued, 100% of intelligence Americans, he says intelligence Americans, agree that Trump is a complete loser. Really, really, okay. But go back to clinging your guns because you're afraid. I'll just say the word pussy. Where did we hear that expression? Clinging your guns. Oh, yeah, Barack Obama, right? The chain of the chair of the Maine Republican Party wasn't too happy about it. Said basically you need to take that word away, those words away. You need to be whatever. Guy basically said, it was a threat against the president. He says, as long as that's coming from out of the side, then I'll match you dumb F's word for word. Trump is a half-term president at most, especially if I ever get within 10 feet of that pussy. I said the pussy word. And I hate that word, but I'm just going to say it because we're podcasting, folks. We are podcasting. Again, if you'd like to comment on the show, let me go ahead and check the other page over here. Then I'd love to hear from you. I love likes, don't get me wrong. But I also love comments. We do have a new T-shirt design. I'm doing T-shirts and apparel. One of them is, you'll see it on the pinned at the top of the Deplorables radio page, The Hunt for Red November. And it features Vladimir Putin, and it looks very much like one of my favorite movies, The Hunt for Red October. And it has Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, the head for Red November, and then Dims to Hillary, you arrogant ass, you've killed us. So if you've seen this, movie, you know what I'm talking about. I want to get into a couple of other stories that I think you're going to enjoy. You hear about Evergreen State University? It's a university in Washington State. And as I mentioned earlier, they decided to make it a day where to show the impact of people of color on society. For many years, they have basically asked for a walkout from people of color as far as faculty and also as far as students. And that's been fine until now. What they asked this year was to have white faculty and students leave the campus. So they were booting people because of the color of their skin. And one professor said no. And he was destroyed. I'm going to share you some of the audio today because at least one student and this university professor has just pointed out it's not even absurd, it's sickening. What happened there? And let's hope that this is a turnaround. The reason why this story is important to me, guys, is because I have a son who's 17, almost 18, and he's going to go to the University of wherever in a year and a half. And I'm concerned about it because he's a white guy. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. This is funny. So have you seen Planet of the Apes? I mean, we've been watching Planet of the Apes forever, and they got a new Planet of the Apes movie. It's, what the hell is it? Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Apes that are eating bananas, destroying. I don't know what the hell it is. Anyway, there's a new Planet of the Apes movie, which I've heard is really good. Oh, yeah, Planet of the Apes. Okay, whatever. Anyway, it's like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know. There's been so many damn movies. Most of the summer has been essentially movies that we've already seen before. And so now we've got the new Planet of the Apes movie. Well, DeRay McKesson is apparently a Black Lives Matter leader, and we've seen him. He's been in Baltimore, and he's a douche, and he has no job. And it just so happens that all the time he wears a blue vest. and he doesn't work at Walmart. That's the really interesting thing about it. He doesn't work at Walmart. So he wears this blue vest, and that's his signature piece of apparel. Now, what he didn't realize is that the main character, the main bad guy in Planet of the Apes, since the beginning of the Planet of the Apes, which has been around since the mid-'60s, right? Been around since the mid-'60s. And he didn't realize that the main character in the Planet of the Apes series wears a blue vest, like the people at Walmart. I'd be more offended if I were a Walmart greeter, to be quite honest. Anyway, he saw that the main character in the Planet of the Apes movie had a blue vest. He said, "Given the history of rendering black people as apes, I'm offended and appalled by the lack of consciousness in Hollywood." Okay? He said, "In associated black people with apes, active work is being done to perpetuate the dehumanization of black people in mass media." Even though, I mean, black people are rocking mass media right now. I mean, they really are. They really are. They're rocking mass media. Anyway, I guess Whoopi Goldberg had a moment of clarity today, and she shared her thoughts about why Daree, whatever this guy is, DeRay McCason, should be a little embarrassed by this for basically saying that Planet of the Apes was trying to mimic him and make fun of him as a small-time leader of Black Lives Matter, even though this movie is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. DeRay McCason, who's nobody's ever, he's convinced that because it's an ape wearing a blue vest, it's making fun of him. Here is Whoopi talking about it.
Prominent Black Lives Matter activist DeRay McKesson accused filmmakers of personally mocking him by dressing up an ape in a blue vest, which he's been known to wear. DeRay, you need to go back and watch the 1968 original and check out what the apes were wearing. This has nothing to do with you. This is a movie that was about what happens when mankind doesn't pay attention to environment, to how we treat animals and each other. That's what that movie was about. And
didn't even know what that was a movie was about. I didn't even know. I just thought the apes took over the world. Anyway.
End of the movie, when they're riding around and you realize it's here, that's what the movie was about. Get over yourself.
Yeah. He does need... How stupid would you feel if you were so narcissistic that you thought a movie was about you and a perceived slight? That would be like me saying that because I drive a suburban vehicle with 2 children, a blonde wife, myself, that Chevy Chase is a caricature of me in Vacation. I mean, come on, man, right? How self-serving do you have to be to say that somebody obviously made this movie as a slight to me? And what's even worse is that DeRay McKesson, by wearing a blue vest, wouldn't you feel more stupid or wearing a blue vest as your signature wardrobe piece, not knowing you were dressing like an ape from Planet of the Apes? Wouldn't you feel more stupid that way? Wouldn't you feel really dumb that way? It's all lost on some folks. It's all lost on some folks. Do want to mention something real quick here. I do have a line of politically incorrect swag, T-shirts and other stuff. It is available here. It is available here, folks. tpublic.com, conservatees. tpublic.com, conservatees. Just go right there and check it out. tpublic.com, conservatees. We have a variety of different designs I think you're going to enjoy, including a new one today. It looks like the iconic Hunt for Red October poster, but it has the Hunt for Red November about Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. The line, Dems to Hillary, it says, "You arrogant ass, you've killed us." There's that. We've got a new one called Deplorable Millennial. If you are a millennial and you are conservative, you can wear that very proudly. Deplorable millennial. We have some other things as well. Again, it is tpublic.com conservatees. Here are a couple of them if you haven't seen them. Suck it up, Snowflake. Suck it up, Snowflake. You can have this on T-shirts. You can have this on hats. You can have this on all sorts of stuff. This one here for your university students. I got your safe space right here. Got your safe space right here. You can put this on T-shirts. You can put this on notebook covers. Grateful Dead fan who's a conservative. I know they're rare. Here it is. Make America Grateful Again. It's right there. Veganism is an eating disorder. Veganism is an eating disorder. I agree with this completely. Veganism sucks. It's terrible. It's awful. Show it to the vegan in your family at Thanksgiving. Okay, get it on a T-shirt. Get it on a mug. Get it on whatever. You're gonna love this, you Paris climate change deniers, and I am, by the way. Proud climate change denier, right there. You can have that on a T-shirt, on a phone case, on a onesie, on a hoodie, the whole deal. Sometimes war is the answer, folks. You may agree. You may think that war is not the answer. If you do believe that, you're wrong. Man, my fingers look terrible. Sometimes war is the answer. That's available. Again, tpublic.com/conservatees, tpublic.com. Okay. Okay, if your kid's going to college this year, my kid is not a snowflake. You can have that done. Oh, one more. And this is perfect for you. Russia. There you go. Featuring Jan Brady. That is an original idea. You're hearing it. A lot of memes. A lot of people are saying this. Russia. Jan Brady. Get that on a T-shirt. Get that on a mug. Get that on a sticker. Tell people basically, you know what? Lighten the hell up. tpublic.com conservatees. tpublic.com conservatees. Okay. All right. Let's talk about madness with regard to universities. There is a university called Evergreen State, and they had a little uprising about a month ago, a little bit more than that. And this is where university students who are eager for a crisis, they've never experienced a crisis in their lives, they decided to create a race riot on campus. The same thing happened at the University of Missouri. We've seen other things happen all over the country with regard to conservative speakers. Milo Yiannopoulos tried to speak at Berkeley. They shut him out. But a lot of places, a lot of universities around the country, even though the race climate is so much better now than it was a long time ago, they're trying to drag the country back to 1968 again. And it's a load of crap because these are a bunch of snowflakes, and they are snowflakes. And they are at university, and their lives have been so cushioned. They've not been to war. They've not had a civil rights struggle. They've not had an assassinated president. They've had, all this. They don't remember 9/11. And so they're creating a crisis all over the country. They're saying that, like at the University of Missouri, poop swastikas are being drawn. This is bullcrap. We've had virtually every hate crime on campus in America, 99.9%, made up. Because there are people who feel like they need to be victims. They need to be victims. They need to have a crisis, even though they haven't had a crisis. Evergreen State is one of those colleges. And so they had a meeting today with regard to all the crap that's happened at Evergreen State, with regard to this day that they wanted white people to leave campus. And this one professor, Brett Weinstein, said, no, you know what? I'm a liberal and all that stuff. I'm not going to leave. It's really racist if I have to leave the campus because I'm a white guy. He's been accused of racism. He's been just destroyed. Just a recap. I mean, these doofuses, I won't call them, they're children on campus who decided there was a crisis on campus, decided that this man, Brett Weinstein, was a racist. They shut down the campus. They held the chancellor, the president, hostage. They threatened people physically and all this other stuff. I hope this is the day that political correctness on campus jumps the shark, but I'm not sure we're there yet. Dear God in heaven, I hope we are. I really hope we are. At a meeting with the Board of Trustees today, They did a listening session. And people actually who possibly disagreed with all of the political correct crap were able to finally speak out without being threatened with death. One of the students was Mackenzie. Mackenzie didn't use her last name because she doesn't want to die. Here she is talking about what she went through at Evergreen State with regard to being a white student in a typical university situation where white means privilege, where white means supremacy. I want you to listen to what this tortured 19 or 20-year-old had to say about what she's gone through there.
I totally understand that people are upset, but I don't think this was handled in the right way at all. And this behavior has actually been encouraged. And because of this, I feel like people are becoming more violent and the campus is becoming more of an unsafe place. I have been to several meetings to speak. I've been told several times that I'm not allowed to speak because I'm white. This school seems to focus so much on race that is actually becoming more racist in a different sort of way.
Listen to that again. I'm going to play it for you again, folks. This is a kid. This is a kid who probably was never raised to think about race, didn't think twice about it. So my son never thought about race, went to college, and now, as a member of this generation, because some people need to claim victimhood status to distract from the crisis in the African-American community, this kid, because she's a white kid, no matter what the background was, mom and dad could be coal miners, mom and dad could be unemployed, this kid has been made to feel that she is a criminal because she's Caucasoid.
I have been to several meetings to speak. I've been told several times that I'm not allowed to speak because I'm white. This school seems to focus so much on race that is actually becoming more racist in a different sort of way. And because I say that, because I choose not to focus on race, I've actually been labeled a racist and a white supremacist. And if anyone took the time to actually know me, it's not true at all. But that's what I've been labeled as.
It's going on all over the country. And it's gotten worse. I always say that when you use the word racist, a lot of people use the word racist, it is a sign you've lost an argument. We moved from racist on university campuses to white privilege. Whenever a very inflammatory term from the left starts to lose its luster, they move on to something else. 25 years ago, I was working on the radio, a newbie in broadcasting. And I remember the word racist being used all the time. And even then it was Al Sharpton and what race baiting, pseudo self-acclaimed Jesse Jackson, leader of the black community. And I said that whenever, racism is going to be it is going to be a dog whistle, and it is going to eventually wear out its usefulness, because people are going to realize that when you just scream racism, it doesn't mean there's racism. And it took 25 years. It took 25 years to get there. So then it became white privilege. White privilege. And then people began to realize, do you know that a lot of poor white people in the country, a lot of unemployed white people in the country, and all that stuff. Now it's white supremacy, which is funny because, can you imagine? I mean, unless you're like Mississippi born, growing up in the bayou and your dad is a KKK member, you're not a white supremacist. I mean, shut the hell. Who the hell Who the hell goes to university as a white supremacist? I mean, come on, man. Who honestly, who goes to a university today as a white supremacist? How long is that going to last? You show up and you got your Dixie flag there, you got your Confederate flag in the back of your truck. I don't give a crap where you go to school as a white supremacist. You're not going to last very long. So it's just absurd on the face of it to say that there are people not only in the government at large, for instance, at the federal government, but also at universities who are white supremacists. These relegated douchebags who live in the backwoods of America still, like, they're invading universities. Are you out of your freaking nut? It's just so absurd. We're going to, yes, you know what? Here's the deal, man. I'm going to get in there at Evergreen College, and I'm going to get in there and I'm going to burn me a cross, and I'm going to put me up my Confederate flag. By God, you really, wow. You must be just completely, if you believe that white privilege is really taking hold at liberal universities around the country, I would suggest you up your medication. I know. Just talk to your doctor. Maybe they're saying, one Zoloft. I want to do two. Paxil. I consider a Paxil. Okay. Lexapro. Might consider a whole Lexapro. Just to kind of get a unique perspective on the world's events, because white supremacists aren't going to school. Back to Evergreen State. Brent Weinstein, this is the guy who was the original professor who said, you're asking me because of the color of my skin to leave the campus. No, I'm not going to. Well, the guy has been victimized. And he's a leftist. He's a liberal. He's a liberal. Liberal does not mean open-minded, by the way. I don't care what you say. Years ago, I heard that liberal meant open-minded. You're high. No, you're not open-minded if you're a liberal. And you certainly aren't if you're a leftist. Leftists, and I keep hearing this, leftists taking over. Liberals have allowed leftists to take over. So you know what? I don't feel sorry for you freaking liberals. You've allowed this thing to fester and boil over. So you leftists, you liberals who, we've been overtaken by left. You've always been, you liberals have always been absolutely intolerant. I've heard from the get-go. Berkeley has always been the home of free speech. You know where the home of free speech was? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1776. When the Constitution was drawn up, when the Bill of Rights was drawn up, that is the birthplace of free speech. It wasn't effing Berkeley in the 1960s, because it was never about free speech at Berkeley. It's always been the home of free left-wing speech. That's it. That's it. You're wrong. It's never been a bastion of conservative speech. If you believe that it's the home of free speech, you are out of your freaking mind, because all you got to do at Berkeley is go out and hold a placard up, and all you got to do at Berkeley is stand up and throw some rocks at the police. You didn't give up your fortune and blood and everything like they did a couple hundred years ago. That's the birthplace of free speech. If you think because you can wear a T-shirt on a campus and smoke some dope and put a flower in a gun barrel that you're somehow the birthplace of free speech, you're high. And I don't think the gun thing didn't actually happen at Berkeley. I think, was it? Whatever. It was against. I wasn't even born. What the hell? Back to Brett Weinstein, or Weinstein. It's E-I at the end, so it's Stein. Talking about this Board of Trustees meeting at Evergreen State University, and he had a chance to sound off. Basically, he had to remove his class from campus because he was physically threatened. They had to move the graduation from Evergreen State from the campus. Here is Brett Weinstein today, or yesterday, talking about what he went through.
I also know people who know you all personally, and I'm told and I believe that you are all well-intentioned and that you have the best interests of the institution at heart. And the problem is that knowing that about you And knowing what I do about what's taken place here, I'm forced to conclude that you must not fully understand what has happened, because if you did fully understand what has happened, you would be forced to act in the interest of Evergreen. So in that light, I want to just simply pose some questions to you about things that I think you need to know that perhaps you don't.
So he decided to confront the faculty after all of the crap he's gone through, because he wasn't defended, because the idiot university president, President George Bridges, did not support him. He decided to confront the university. And I think this is great. I love it when the left eats its own. I love it when Brett Weinstein, he would have never said anything had this been just an attack on conservatives. He would have never said a damn thing. He wouldn't have given a rat's ass. He would not have given a rat's ass. But because he is the person being persecuted as a liberal, which is, unusual, right? On campus. It's crazy unusual. He's a victim. I love it when the left eats its own, and I hope and pray to God in heaven that this is a turnaround for a university campus. A little bit more from Brett Weinstein with his questions to administrators about why they treated him like crap.
Do you know that the college descended into literal anarchy, and that for days the campus was not under the control of the state? It was under the control of protesters. That there were assaults, there were batteries, there was pressure not to report crimes to the police. People were, by the legal definition, I believe, kidnapped and imprisoned. That included faculty members and administrators. Others were hunted on the campus. That lawless bands roamed the campus unimpeded. Police were physically and intentionally blocked by protesters. Police were cruelly, systematically, and personally taunted. They were humiliated and forced to stand down by the president. Students that held different opinions were, by the protesters' own analysis, stalked, harassed, and doxxed, meaning that their names, pictures, and addresses and phone numbers were distributed online.
By the way, those are conservative students.
Do you know that concessions made under intimidation and threat during the protest are now being enacted by the college? That includes mandatory bias training for all faculty. This has come about by an agreement between the faculty union, the administration, and protesters. It was not discussed with the faculty.
Got to do your bias training. You got to do your brainwashing is what it is. Oh, just real quick. I want to play a funny comment. And you may not think the Evergreen State thing. I just think it's a metaphor for universities around the country and how conservative views have been silenced. And you know what I'm talking about, right? This is an Evergreen State University student during the height of the protests, and I think you'll get a kick out of this. And again, I'd love to hear your comments. The comments are right there. Just go down and comment. What do you think of the show so far? Here is an Evergreen student talking at the height of the protests. Now, I want to ask you this question before. What should they be focused on? Protesting or learning how to read and write? Listen.
Has demonstrated anti-blackness in the pigeon-holding, charging, and sentencing of 2 black trans disabled students based on false racially charged allegations.
Okay, this is a college student, not a second grader. Let's listen to that again. This is a college student reading.
Allegations, sorry.
Excuse me.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Doesn't know how to read. Doesn't know how to read. I hope and pray that things are going to turn around. Again, your thoughts are welcome here on Deplorables Radio. My name is Rob Carson, and I greatly appreciate you checking out the show. A couple of other stories, and I might play a little comedy before I go. I've enjoyed the show so far. I hope you have. College is offering all expenses paid to those who want to visit the campus as long as you're not a white kid. Reed College, Oregon, says they'll fly you in. If you're eligible for this program, if you're a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident who's a high school senior, from historically underrepresented racial and ethnic backgrounds, including African American, Latino, Asian American. Asian Americans, I thought they were kicking ass in school. Native American, Native Hawaiian. Okay. Pacific Islander living in the U.S. or U.S. territories. Basically, they're saying that if you're a white kid, don't apply. Yeah, you'll get a free trip, whatever. All right, I don't want to sound all racy and everything, because I am a white guy, right? I mean, shouldn't complain. I'm privileged. I'm privileged. A couple other things here real quick, guys. This is, if you followed the Charlie Gard case in Great Britain, here's what I mentioned the other day. Charlie Gard is a kid who's never going to recover. Charlie Gard is a little baby in Great Britain. If you haven't heard, he's got a mitochondrial depletion, which is something, it's on the cellular level, guys. It ain't going to fix itself, all right? Mitochondrial depletion. This kid is never going to see, hear, move, swallow, breathe. God dang it, this sucks. I hate this. Mom and dad have gotten some hope and some fundraising, a GoFundMe, whatever, and they got a couple $1 million, and they're going to go to the U.S., and they're going to try and, experimental treatment. And listen, and by the way, hi, Seth, how you doing? And Rob, who else is watching me tonight here? And why aren't you commenting, bitches? Come on, you guys are my, Jimmy and Sean and Richard. I know you guys are fans. Why aren't you commenting? I mean, listen, I like it that you like me, but comment. I want to hear your thoughts. It's nice to see you guys. Honestly, Seth and Rob, you guys are great. Thank you. I want to see some comments on the stuff I'm saying. Even if you just want to say you like me. I like you guys, too. You guys are so cool. I like you. Hello. Okay. Anyway. Charlie Gard. His parents are in front of court in Great Britain, and they have about another day to convince the court not to put the kid down. That's what it is, right? Royal Courts of Justice. They have a hearing to prove that the kid, can leave the state for an experimental treatment. Parents should be in charge. If you have a possibility, sure, why not? We cannot have the government say that they're the arbiter of what happens, all right? That said, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. Oh, Rob Votaw. I got a comment. Oh, my God. Woo! This kid's story is tough. I like you. You know what, Rob? I'm secure enough in my masculinity to say that I like you, too. Can you send some pictures in swimwear? You ever watch Gladiator movies? I'm kidding. Here's the thing about Charlie Gard. He's going to die. Charlie Gard's going to die. There, but by the grace of God, go I. With regard to parents, many of us, many people can stand outside and see the folly of treating Charlie Gard. They can't understand it from the perspective of the parents. That's the problem. I heard somebody say to me, well, you know what? I mean, if your dog was in this shape, you'd put him down. I'm like, oh, boy. As much as we anthropomorphize our pets, not going to go there. Not going to go there. Come on, man. Oh, there's no easy solution, right? As I said last night, just say prayers for the family. Dear Lord. It's all you can do, right? It's all you can do. All you can do. I'm looking for more posts. I'm looking for more comments on the podcast. Because you know what? I know what I'm doing here. I'm doing a good podcast. And I think it's going to be good. It's going to grow. It's going to get better. And I want to know your thoughts on stuff. Oh, did you hear the bad news? Did you hear this? Joe Scarborough's a sellout punk ass rhino. I used to kind of like him But now he's just a sycophantic puss. And the reason why he sucks is because his audience is under 1 million people nationally. And he's on with Mika Brzezinski, who's dumb as a box of rocks without the rocks. And now he's sucking up to Stephen Colbert. And the other night, he's going to forsake the Republican Party. Here's what he said about leaving the Republican Party.
I am a Republican, but I'm not going to be a Republican anymore. I've got to become an independent. And
woo! And then there's the leftist audience and the Colbert audience, and he's holding Mika Brzezinski's hand and all that crap. And listen, I get it. He's leaving the Republican Party because of support for Trump. I left the Republican Party for other reasons. And I'm not officially declared independent, but I'm going to be. And my reason is the Republican Party is not doing the crap that I'm asking them to. I asked them to repeal Obamacare through 2 midterm elections where we swept the country. Gosh damn it. Why in the hell have we not replaced this POS? That's why I'm doing it. I had an interesting situation the other night. My son got his driver's license. He waited about 1.5 years. He's 17 and a half. He gets his driver's license. I'm proud of him. I love it. I love it. I have a designated driver now. Hey, son, Dad's going to have a few. I'm like Homer Simpson. Anyway, he was asked to register to vote. He's 17 and a half, can't vote till he's 18. And he looked at me nervously like, woman's like, what do you want to register as? And he looked at me like, what do you, and I said, I don't expect you to register according to what I would like you. I don't care what you register as. I just ask that you would be well informed when you go to the ballot box. I'm not, if you're liberal, whatever, it's your business. I think you're foolish, to be quite honest. But you do what you want to do, man. You do what you want to do. And he registered independent. So I don't blame him. I honestly, what did the parties offer to him? What did the parties offer to a millennial generation kid? Actually, he's more Gen Z, right? What does the parties offer to him but division and bullshit? Honestly. Oh, did you hear about this? Nancy Pelosi for the umpteenth time has referred to Donald Trump as President Bush. This woman, honestly, I'm not, you could say on Morning Joe and all this, Donald Trump is delusional. All crap. Nancy Pelosi needs to be working at Walmart welcoming people, all right? She's almost 80 years old. She and Maxine Waters, it's time. It's time. Harry Reid's gone. It's time to start, the old people. You expect us to retire at 65 or 70 with Social Security, but you want to live forever in the Senate and make book deals and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Here she is referring to President Trump as President Bush again.
Tax cut. Everything we have seen so far, though, with the president has been about tax cuts for the rich. Yeah. In fact, affecting California very directly is the Affordable Care Act. President Bush has come out against that, as you know.
I could see where Hillary Clinton would be a little more obsessed with the name Bush. Maybe not her. I don't know.
Affecting California very directly is the Affordable Care Act. President Bush has come out against that, as you know, and he has...
Certainly, of all the presidents and first ladies, to somebody have Bush on the brain, it would be Hillary Clinton.
In fact, affecting California very directly is the Affordable Care Act.
Yes, sir.
President Bush has come out against that, as you know.
Clearly has Bush on the brain there.
And it is not even a health care bill. The Republican bill is not even a health care bill. It's a tax bill disguised as a health care bill.
Yeah, she likes Bush, apparently. She really likes Bush. She wants to cling to Bush. And then I guess I get some people from, Nancy Pelosi. I could see where she might cling to Bush a little bit more. I know Hillary Clinton is a huge Bush fan, and so it kind of happens. It kind of happens. Let me see what else I got here on the computer. Trump 700. Dershowitz. I don't want to talk about Donald Trump Jr. anymore. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to talk anymore about Donald Trump Jr. and the Russians. Not going to do it. You can't make me. So what I'm going to do, if you don't mind, can I play some comedy for you? How about this? How about I play some comedy for you? Let me find a couple of bits here real quick. Oh, here we go. All right, here's for those of you who just tuned in tonight to Deplorables Radio, my name is Rob Carson. Welcome to my studio. I'm a talk show host. I am a broadcaster, podcaster, and a nationally syndicated comedy writer. I have written over the years for Rush Limbaugh and others. So I'm going to play from the archive, the classics. Here's one I did about Barack Obama and illegal immigration. I made it about a Mexican food product.
What's for dinner, Mom?
I made meatloaf.
Meatloaf? Not again.
Family dinner nights don't need to be boring anymore, thanks to Old Obama.
Yay!
We're flooding your pantry with great south-of-the-border entrees that are so good, they should be illegal.
Can my friends stay for dinner?
With Old Obama in the house, they can stay as long as they want.
No longer will the flavors of Guatemala, Honduras, and Ecuador be alien in this
Mexico.
country, thanks to Old Obama.
Why, the pantry's getting a little crowded.
Old Obama, another fine product of executive action.
Okay, there you go. A little gift for you. Let me see if I can find another one here for you. Oh, here's another bit that I did during the Obama administration about the fact that while President Obama was the president of the United States, food stamp usage, welfare usage, unemployment went through the ceiling. Here's a parody I did about welfare checks mix.
Just because the economy is terrible and you don't have a job doesn't mean you can't throw a party.
What am I going to feed my guests?
Have you tried these?
What's that?
Welfare checks mix.
This is great.
And it's free from the Obama administration.
How do I get more welfare checks mix?
Just get on party.gov. Fill out the pages upon pages of personal information.
It says down for maintenance.
Well, keep trying, buddy. It's the government way. New welfare checks mix from Obamaco. Perfect for your next Democrat party.
Okay, there you go. And then again, I started writing for Rush in the early 1990s, and we continued to get through the aughts. Here's a parody I did about the VA, because we all know the problems with the VA, and how a few years ago the Congress decided that they would put a Band-Aid on it. It didn't fix it. The current president came up with another bit of legislation, and I hope and pray that it is the fix. If you ever played Operation from Milton Bradley, you'll understand why this is funny.
Milton Bradley is the company that brought you the original game, Operation.
Remove Adam's apple.
Oh! We reinvented this classic game for 2014. It's the all-new VA Operation game.
Remove funny business bone.
Okay.
Hello, this is VA operation. You have to wait 6 months for that procedure.
VA Operation is just like the games played by VA hospitals around the country, with lost records, delayed treatment, and gut-wrenching bureaucracy.
Draw a card.
It says I was keeping a secret waiting list. Oh.
That means you get a bonus.
All right.
VA Operation. Fun for people of all ages. Not funny at all for our veterans.
Nope, and hopefully they will turn things around with regard to the VA. Anyway, those were a couple of bits I thought you would enjoy. Before I go, I want to remind you that I am available on Facebook at Rob Carson Show. Also, you can check out my website, which is robcarsonshow.com. We have these cool T-shirts and stuff. tpublic.com conservatees, tpublic.com conservatees. All right, no matter where you live, you're going to dig these. This is a popular one right now. Put this on T-shirts, put this on hats, put this on onesie. That's Jan Brady going Russia, 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 Russia. Okay, get that. Got a new one now, which is really cool. It's the Hunt for Red November. Features Vladimir Putin in a very iconic picture, which you're normally associated with Sean Connery in the Hunt for Red October. Dudes. Calm down. She lost. He won. Get over it. Hillary Clinton's not the president. Here's another one. And for all of you kids who like to think that Che Guevara is really cool, no. Murderous commie douchebag, not a hero. Get that on T-shirts, onesies, hoodies for the fall. Your kid's going to college, boom, 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 right there. You can't, I hate this, coexist. You can't coexist when someone to kill you. You can't coexist when someone to kill you. You can order that. My kid is not a snowflake, all right? For those who have Priuses, you see a Prius and you see it says sometimes war's not the answer. Well, guess what, Pookie? Sometimes it is. Sometimes the bad guys need their asses kicked. T-shirts, onesies, all that stuff. Just go to the website that I mentioned, which is, of course, tpublic.com. Look for Conservatees. One more here, because a lot of times you have people who feel like if food has to be political. This is vegans, and they always say, preserve your mother and it features the earth, or meat is murder. I say that veganism is an eating disorder. There you go. Veganism is an eating disorder. You really look at the tomatoes. Aren't they delicious? Wouldn't it be better with some steak? Oh, yeah. All right. Again, the website, tpublic.com. Look up Conservatees, tpublic. Okay, you got it. All right. So I want to say, you guys, God bless you. It's been a blast being here. If you get a chance to share this Facebook page with others, we're going to grow this. All right. I'm hoping and I'm planning on making this a nightly video podcast with you, which is, an hour long. We've gone an hour and 10 minutes tonight. Where I talk about the day's events. We're going to do this at 7 o'clock Eastern. We're going to do this at 6 o'clock Central. Those are the same time. I believe it's 5 o'clock Mountain and 4 o'clock California. Yeah. You Democrats, no. It's a big country. We have different times, you want to drag us back to 1968, but we have different times. But I will tell you, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, you're going to catch me here. In the meantime, share this page with others. We're going to be adding other broadcasters and podcasters. We are. We're going to have other people here sharing their opinions, and we want you to be a star, too. We want you to be a star of this Facebook page. There's no reason why not. Join the page. We're adding. And listen, we've got to screen folks because we want the best of the best of the best. If you don't get approved in the very first day, please don't be taken aback by it. All right? Because there are a lot of people trying to horn in and do stupid crap and share stuff that nobody gives a rat's behind about. There are a lot of people who are very far left, very radical, who want to do everything they can to take down this. It is Deplorables Radio, Deplorables Radio, and it is the original, and it's what we're going to do, and we're going to grow this. So what I would ask you to do is share it with other people, okay? And join us as it continues to grow. All right, so before I go, I want to thank the sponsors of my podcast. They are glorious. They are glorious. Dr. Alex Nelson, chiropractor, Kansas City. FountainofLifeChiro.com, FountainofLifeChiro.com. If you lived in KC, 816-741-4711, 816-741-4711. God bless them for being a part of this. If you've got low back pain, shoulder pain, carpal tunnel neuropathy, all of those things. 816-741-4711. 816-741-4711, fountainoflifechiro.com. GrassMonstersKC.com. American-made mowers. Dixie choppers. Made in Indiana. Hustler mowers. Made in Kansas. Zero turning radius. Residential. Commercial. The whole deal. GrassMonstersKC.com, 5520 Raytown Road, Raytown Mow. Glad to have them a part of the show. In the meantime, guys, say goodbye to episode number 129. And we will see you back here for 1:30 very soon. God bless. See you soon.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.